G'day, welcome back to the 40 channel. So it's still winter, but we have a cracker of a day. Blue skies, sun's out. This is the days that I love in winter. Now the seats in this thing are absolutely destroyed. And besides that, they'll never put in correctly and they're not safe. So they've only been bolted down by 3 bolts and it shakes around a bit. So the seats aren't in good condition and they're not safe. And we're going to look at putting in something a lot more comfortable using a full adapter kit from Huracan Fabrication. So let's get straight into it. Seat's looking good, Nick. Nice, I'll put him in your car. Charlie laying here with us today, which is nice to come out in the sunshine, isn't it? Righto, and I was able to score a original seat out of a 83 model Troopy. And the reason that was a good score, they bought this some time ago, and we've got the seat rails on it. So we'll be able to save the seat rails off this and use them on the Huracan adapter kit. Charlie, you want to rip those bolts out? So the first thing we need to do is we need to use the original seat rails off the Toyota. So flip it up. 20 cents richer. So here's the original seat rails. We're going to rip them off and then we'll clean them all up and we'll be able to utilize them for the Huracan XR6 seats. Righto, it is much nicer outside in the sun, but it's going to be a lot easier to do this inside. So here is the Huracan Fabrication adapter seat rails. Now these are really cool. They make a whole range of different adapter kits, not just for 40 series Land Cruisers, but I think they make them for 60, 80, then they make them for some Nissans. Go check out their webpage. They've got some really cool stuff. And not just seat adapters either. But today we're focusing on this adapter kit. Now it looks all fairly basic and simple. You just buy the kit straight off the shelf. Everything's been laser cut and powder coated. They've got all your spacers and your bolt kits. Full range of instructions telling you exactly what you need to do. It doesn't get any easier than this. The cool thing is this kit's been done so many times, it's not an issue. I rang the engineer, told him what I was going to do, and straight away he'd already heard of this kit and said that won't be an issue once we get it in to get it engineered. Easy. All right, let's get into it. Righto, so we've got the 40 series seat rails here. The next thing we need to do is rip off the XR6 seat rails, strip it down. Righto, you can see a huge difference in your original 40 series seats to these things. So as you know, we're going on a long drive for a drought. For me to get there and back, we're looking at about 5,000 Ks sitting in the Troopy. I wanted to try to make it as comfortable as I possibly could for a 40 series Land Cruiser. Now I saw that the XR6 seats were very popular with 40 series Land Cruisers and you could buy the Huracan Fabrication kit straight off the shelf. I wasn't convinced. For me, I didn't really care what type of seats I got. I just wanted something a little bit more comfortable. But as luck would have it, I was talking to someone and he said, oh, I've got some XR6 seats. You can have them for $100. I cannot pass that up. And here we are. So, enough blabber, let's get straight into stripping this seat down. Flip it straight over. We're going to be removing all the old seat rails, the whole lot, taking it back to a bare one. Now this is so simple, there's only 4 bolts, rip it off, those seat rails come off, and the adapter kit and the new rails start going on. Some wire snips, just cut all those cable ties off. Now, lift the whole seat rail off. The driver's side one's a little bit more complicated. It's got all your power motors and all those type of functions in it. Again, we won't be using any of that stuff. It's all redundant. We've got those little spacers. Just drop the spacers straight over the existing studs on the Falcon seats. Righto, now it's time to bolt our Toyota seat rails to the adapter kit. We're just going to put the supplied bolts through the inside parts of the rails. A spacer goes on each one. Drop our Toyota seat rail straight on place. The nylock nuts that are supplied, screw them straight on. Take a 13mm spanner and a 13mm ratchet. Okay, we're just going to line those holes up into the middle. Exactly the same process with the other side. You can slide your seat rails back and forward so you can actually see what you're doing. And gives us easier access to our bolts. Alright, there's our 2 seat rails ready to go that are on the Falcon seats. Drop our rails straight on. And then using the original Falcon bolts, bolt those rails straight onto it. Now that's it. That's ready to bolt in the car. It is that easy. Right, let's have a look how these seats look. Now we're just going to sit them in, do a quick bolt up, make sure it's all okay. But eventually I'll be pulling them straight back out again because I need to clean up all this floor. I'm not sure what's gone on here. You can see that in the camera, there's a bit of silicone. It looks like they've tried to do a bit of a cut. They started to do something, patched up with silicone. So we'll fix that up and patch all the holes up in the floor. And I think we're going to probably raptor line the floor, the whole lot on the inside. Oh, yes, this is so much nicer. Yeah, righto, this is so much nicer. I tell you what, this is going to be so much better. Just like I've got so much adjustment in these seats. It's fantastic. Steering wheel's out because we left that out. We're still working on the power steering. But hey, Huracan Fabrication, what an awesome kit you guys have made. It bolts up so easily. We're using the original rails. We're using all the original bolt holes. Now all I need to do is finish this off, take it to the engineer, show them what we've done, and I'm sure there'll be no issues. It'll be a nice big tick off. But mate, I'm super happy. These are so nice. Right, let's play around with the second seat and we'll bolt it in and have a look at that one as well. Now the passenger seat. So if you had 2 bucket seats, exactly the same process, follow it through what we did. If you had the bench seat and the bucket seat, like we would have originally had, the kit comes with 2 big long rails like this. Basically exactly the same process, except you've got the kit made for it. So let's just note that this one here with the folded lip on it, it goes to the back of the seat with that lip facing up. The only thing I found was that this back edge here on the inside of the seat was just a little bit too high. I just gave it a bit of a tap with the hammer down just to bend it down, and the issue was solved. So quick, easy fix there. Right, so I've actually found this a little bit easier to actually do most of it on the seat itself. And the reason for that is just all the spacing. So again, we get all our spaces. We'll drop them onto the XR6 seat. We get our rails, the folded lip at the back with the lip facing up, and the front. Righto. Now, to tell these apart, I don't know if they're all the same, but this one here has a number 2 stamped on it. This one doesn't have anything on it, but the number 2 is actually the one furthest away from the door. So that actually works out quite well. With the supplied nut and bolt, we'll put it through the adapter kit, we'll bolt everything up loose, put it all in position, and we'll do it up nice and tight. This end over here is really easy to get to because we've got all the room in the world. Same deal, nut up, spacer on, bolt, spacer, rail, and nut. Righto, now we'll just do everything up nice and tight. Righto, for these ones over here, we're going to do them up, but we're not going to do them up all the way. That way we've still got all this movement and play for the adjustment for when they go in the car, because we don't know exactly where these need to sit yet. So we'll leave that loose, and because we've got full access to that one, we can do them up easily in the vehicle when we've got it in the right position. Alright, let's go put in the passenger seat. Straight away, all my bolts now line up and we don't have some dodgy, crazy setup. So let's bolt it in, see how it feels. Now remember, we've left this middle one loose, so we can line up our bolt holes. So that works really, really well. Put the bolt in and we can do everything else up. This bolt down here I found a little bit trickier because we've got a rear heater in ours, which is really cool. So I've just undone this bolt here from the adapter kit, so it gives me a bit of room to get up under there. So I get a bit of room up under there, and then I can do that bolt up. Righto, that's it. So yeah, it was a little bit tricky getting in that that back corner one there, just in front of that rear heater, with the seatbelt assembly and all that type of stuff, but we got it all in. Bit of a juggle, but that's probably the only difficult thing of this entire install. So I have to say, it looks really, really neat, and I'm super happy with it. It was super easy to put in, bolt straight up. Or the original Toyota holes and bolts are used to bolt it all down. The original rails are used. Mate, this adapter kit from Huracan Fabrications, I give it a big thumbs up. Super happy with it. And I can't wait to be able to take it for a bit of a drive with these new seats in it. So it was great that Charlie May could give me a bit of a hand before she had to duck out to work. That was a big help. You don't see her very often, so rare episode. But guys, thanks so much for your support. Really appreciate all your comments. So feel free to subscribe down below, leave a comment, and until next time, take care of yourselves.